So unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our time today, so I have one final question for everybody. If you could change one thing about the CMBS market, what would it be? Shlomo?
I think it would be better underwriting, more arm's length underwriting. I think it would be better and more thoughtfulness from the rating agency's perspective on how they stress cash flows, and overall just a better familiarity on the origination side with the actual property and the market as opposed to just going off of reports. I know that many originators visit the markets. I know many originators really understand the properties. But at a certain point, it really all boils down to the form and the underwriting that's filled out that just filters its way through and gets check marks and is stressed based on a predetermined number that's pulled out of a hat. And if there's one thing that I think really could hurt the CMBS market going forward, it's that lack of accountability and the adherence to a process that may not have as much thoughtfulness behind it as there should be.
Well, as the resident data guy on the panel, I think this has been happening over the last, even 10 or 15 years. Every year we are getting better and more transparent data from the originators, from the underwriters, from the issuers, from the special servicers even. I would say that, we still have a ways to go there in terms of, uniform, consistent reporting from the master servicer, from the special servicer, from the trustee, all these guys that are sending gigabytes and gigabytes of data about hundreds of thousands of properties. When there's something off here or something off there, it can really throw a wrench into the works of bondholders trying to analyze deals, whether they're legacy deals or new deals. So that transparency, CREFC's work on the IRP and enhancing that all the time is great. Still some ways to go. And selfishly, I'd love to see a lot more players in the CMBS market. I'd love to see a lot more guys investing in CMBS. Right now, I think I don't want to say it's hard to make money, but I would say that the low volatility that we've seen over the last few years, the smaller balanced deals that are coming to the market, there's just this, it's hard to make money with this. It's easier to make money with this. So I'm not saying I want the market to, go crazy or anything, but I would say that a little bit of volatility never hurt anybody. So, well, that's not true, but it's just a matter of speaking. Yeah. So.
Well, I agree with Shlomo that I think understanding the market nuances is key because if you look at especially the middle markets and you look at those vacancy rates and especially markets that, have been overbuilt with, 70s product where now you've got a sort of a flight to quality and to more urban markets. If the underwriters really understood the specificities of that market and what was going on, I think we'd have a lot less defaults.
Looking from an origination side, I think if they could figure out how to get some of the fees more in line with all of their lending options, the cost to start that loan is very prohibitive. And definitely, the average loan, they say the average loan in America today is approximately between $8 and $9 million. So you try to do a Wall Street loan, a single-digit $1 million Wall Street loan, is prohibitive to get a borrower and just to start the process. So leave alone all the other issues at Wall Street, if they could do something where the lender's empowered the same way I go to a lender that does loans on their portfolio, on their balance sheet, and they do CMBS. The cost of the CMBS is much prohibitive because they're told they have to use certain, attorneys, a certain process on the appraisal side, and really they don't think it's needed. They do it because it's according to the documentation on the back end. How did it get to this point? And that's if you can figure out something of the cost process up front, I think it'll be a big difference.
Yeah, I would echo a number of the things that have been said. I agree with Joe. We're, as participants in the market, both as originators and servicers and special servicers, we've been big advocates for more transparency. We think that CMBS is a better product. The more transparent the servicers are, the more forthcoming they are with data, and hopefully, I think we've made good inroads there as an industry. Hopefully, we will continue to do that through CREFC and the various participants in the market. I think one of the things that I'm always concerned about with CMBS, and Ira mentioned this probably in one of his very first comments today, about borrowers using CMBS and CMBS being sort of the lender of last resort. I think that we have not done a good enough job as an industry to sort of overcome that. I think there's some structural things that we could do better. One thing that concerns me looking forward is that if when risk retention rules kick in December of 2016, it's too soon to tell what the impact will be from that, although a lot of market participants believe that it will cause rates and spreads to go up. And you would hate to see the unintended consequence of risk retention be lower quality borrowers and lower quality products, so that you truly do become, sort of the lender of last resort. That's a concern that I would have looking forward. And I think the other thing that I would, love to see changed is a differentiation in the marketplace by rating agencies, by investors and others, based on the product itself, the quality of the product, the quality of the underwriting, the quality of the servicer that's going to be on the deal, the quality of the special servicer that's going to be on the deal, what their track records are. To me, there's never been much differentiation between issuer, servicer, or anything else. And I think if the people that can vote with their wallets would do so by differentiating in price, you'd have a better structured market where people could sort of pick and choose, and if they want to go a little further out on the risk spectrum, they could, and they would get paid for it. And if you want to stay a little more conservative in your portfolio, you could, and you'd get the right risk-adjusted return. That's very Pollyanna-ish of me, I'm sure, and probably won't happen, but if you're talking about what we wish for, that's what I would wish for.
So thank you all so much for being here today, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.